We're now tuned into Bossman Tuck Beats.
Around the clock records, got the game in the sling. My wheeler might Mac 11, call it stranger things. The bar might leave a scar, needle might just think. Learn to fly by myself, eagle, spread my wings. Now it's time to soar straight to the top. James Harden, good shot, but also known for the flop. Blue face unorthodox, but also known for the mop. Big Beretta, masked up like I'm RoboCop. Niggas don't want smoke, rest in peace to Pop. A Brooklyn representative, you set the bar, I deliver. Going to November. For the winter owner, never a renter. I was born to winner. Drown if you not a good swimmer. Niggas die from defeat. Instagram gangsters die from a tweet. On Facebook, always shook but don't reply on the street. Only snap on the chat but never filter the heat. Stop throwing subliminals, nigga. I just can't understand. I'm like, damn, niggas block and reject my calls like it's spam. Some niggas only fake go ham, call it spam. Think baby really got your back, it's rack and lamb. Listen, I just can't understand. I'm like, damn, niggas block and reject my calls like it's spam. Some niggas only fake go ham, call it spam. Think baby really got your back, it's rack and lamb.
Y'all still tuned in there? Yes, sir, this is your boy Harlem Smiley, man, and you are tuned into the one and only Dirt Game TV. So today, we got we talking gangs in New York, man. The Trinitarios in particular, man. Are they really the strongest Spanish gang out there right now as far as the New York, New Jersey area go? Did they really overthrow the Latin Kings? What happened to the Nietas? And how do they get along with the MS-13, man? All questions we gonna talk about, man, here on Dirt Gang TV, man. Y'all been asking for it. Oh, Smiley, you talking about all this stuff in New York. What about the Trinitarios? I'm like, who? They like, what? We run New York. Do they? As far as gangs? The jails? We gonna talk about it, man. And I still see you on there. Peekaboo, I still see you. Come on, son. I know this the day after Christmas. Still time to be productive. You can't get this money when you in there sleep on the couch. It's impossible, man. Let's go, man. Dirt Gang TV.
Yikes. We did it again. Around the clock records. Sheesh. Dirt Gang. We got another one. Hey, y'all know what time it is, man. I'm on my own facts, the D unknown maps. Lit the fuse to the track.
I'm just a Brooklyn Crip from a Harlem set. Show some respect. If not, cuz, put it in check. I'm up next. This is your boy Harlem Smiley, man. You are tuned in to the one and only Dirt Gang TV. So, if you rock with your boy, man, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Don't forget to hit the like button on this video if y'all rock with it. When we go live, the super chat is available. And if you want to donate to the cause, the Cash App is $ Harlem Smiley. Other than that, we talking the Trinitarios. Now listen, listen, y'all been on me, yo. Listen, how you gonna keep talking about stuff in New York? You not talking about the Trinitarios? I'm sorry. I told y'all before I didn't have enough information on the Trinitarios to even talk about them. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with y'all. I didn't even know how to pronounce y'all name the right way. You see what I'm saying? I had to even get the pronunciation the right way. Because I didn't want to be on here talking about Trinitarios. It sounded like I work in a Chinese restaurant. Trinitarios. Nah, it's Trinitarios, man. Trini. Listen, I'm in tune now, man. And I do got a nice interview coming with an affiliate who knows a little bit more about the Trinitarios than I do. But for right now, there's going to be a blog and then the interview going to come right after that, man. But before we do, it don't matter what y'all smoking on. Whether it's a sativa, whether it's an indica, whether it's a hybrid, whether it's that Reggie Miller, Reginald Jennings, whether y'all smoking it out of a Dutch, a backwood, a Swisher Sweet, some papers, a bong, Fonto with the raw paper, of course, or the Bob Marley paper. And please, if you must add the grapper, faking it till you make it, please keep that to yourself, man. That's it, man. It's time for y'all to sync up, man. Light is up. All right. So I do got notes. Because I'm not fucking none of this shit up. I got notes. I've been doing a lot of research for like the last month. So we going to get into it with that being said. So if y'all see me looking down, yeah, I'm looking at the notes. We got a lot of notes. Let's start out with Trinitario. I was confused when it first jumped off because I'm like, okay, I know before Latin Kings, when you was Latin King, Puerto Ricans and Dominicans don't have the best of relationships. So when you was Dominican and you was joining the Latin Kings, it wasn't like illegal for you to join the Latin Kings, but it was once upon a time they had the Nietas, which wore the white flags. So a lot of Dominicans was Nietas. And the Puerto Ricans was Latin Kings. But I was around still in them streets when the Nietas was big and the jail systems and all that, because that's like, they like a little older game. To where it slowly was disintegrating, to where their numbers didn't matter. So a lot of Nietas was converting over to Latin Kings. Because once the Nietas kind of like diminished, it was literally, as far as Spanish gangs went, you had the Latin Kings, and then you had the MS-13 was just coming strong through the, as far as like through New York City. So the Trinitarios are predominantly, mostly Dominican. Now, from what I'm hearing, they don't. And once again, this is why I'm going to do the interview, because these are questions I still ask. But this is why I'm going to do the blog first. From what I'm hearing, if you're from another Spanish descent, they don't just automatically say, nah, you can't join the Trinitarios. So it's like with the Latin Kings before, if you was Dominican or something else, you can rock with us. You see what I'm saying? But just know what is predominantly based. One thing I'm a little bit more familiar with was the DDP. The Dominicans don't play. Dominicans don't play, from what I'm hearing in that one too. From what I know about that one, and once again, this is something I'm going to ask on the interview too. Don't quote me on this one, but they're a little bit more strict as far as having just distinctively Dominicans inside of the squad. But the Trinitarios, every gang is like that. See what I'm saying? Except for, black gangsters don't let white people inside their shit. So, I mean, that makes sense. But other than that, though, if you were raised, you can drop in there. So, for the most part, though, the point is, Trinitario is pretty much predominantly Dominican. So, I can see where the clash comes into play with the Latin Kings. And the reason why I say that is because for years, the Latin Kings have been dominating jails. They have been dominating as far as they like at one point in time, they had the most members as far as like a gang. One time they was the most dominant. For years, they was definitely the biggest Spanish gang that was out there. But it's like Puerto Ricans and Dominicans don't have the best relationship. Not saying like they got beef or whatever like that, but they don't have the best relationship. So when it comes down to that, when you got two major gangs that's from two different Spanish descents that don't really care for each other, of course it's going to clash. So Trinitarios is not like it's new. That's one thing I'm going to definitely say throughout the research. I thought it was something rather new, because when I was running around the streets from 96 to I'm talking about like out there every day on the streets, doing dirt from like 96 to like 2007, you didn't really hear about them too much. You see what I'm saying? Like, I done been locked up 7 times and I never ran across one of them, not once. But upon research, I thought they was rather new when getting that information. Come to find out, they've been around since the 90s. See what I'm saying? It's just their numbers were smaller, so it took time to build the numbers up. But from what I'm hearing, them numbers skyrocketed. They skyrocketed. So we're going to talk about a little bit of their jail presence, right? So for years on Rikers Island, and we're not talking about state penitentiaries. We're talking about on Rikers Island. At one point in time, the guard bodies had the jails on lock. Then the Latin Kings at a point in time had the jails on lock. And then for many years, the Bloods had the jails on lock. There was never a time in New York City where the Crips had the jails on lock. Like in California, the Crips got the jails on lock. It's hard for Bloods to move around. There was never a time to where the Crips had the jails on lock in New York. You see what I'm saying? But from now, what I'm hearing, the Trinitarios is, and thank the good Lord, I haven't been on Rikers Island. I can't tell you. It might at least been between 12 to 15 years, somewhere in between there. But I haven't been on Rikers Island mad long. But from what I'm hearing right now, they got the island. From what I'm hearing, Blood still got a lot of houses in there on lock. Crips got their own houses now too. But they say as far as who got the majority of the jail, they say the Trinitarios got it. And this is something I'm going to ask the person, who has a little bit more information when we do that interview. It's hard when you can say you got some shit deep in jail, but also deep in the streets. Because not only do they have a New York chapter, they also have a chapter in New Jersey. Now, from what I'm hearing, there's also another chapter in Connecticut. Could be myth. Don't quote me on that one. Something we're going to ask. One of those questions we're going to ask. But for the most part, there's a New Jersey chapter. So it's like the New York chapter, because it's like they so thick in the jail, pause, because it's a lot of members on the streets. The New Jersey chapter would be like the little brothers of like the New York chapter. And that's no disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Like us, you know what I'm saying? My squad in New York, we like the little brothers to the squad that's in, California. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no disrespect. It is what it is. They the starters. They the founders. It is what it is, man. We'll play little brother. Everybody got to play little brother role if you ain't the firstborn. It's simple. It's like that in everything you think. Don't let that go over your head. If you're not the firstborn, you're always going to be the little brother. Anyway, so the Jersey chapter, it's like they're not as strong as the New York chapter, but it's like when you combine them two together, especially in the part of Jersey that they're in, you combine that together, it's crazy. So in New York, everybody got like they separate parades, right? Like the Puerto Rican Day Parade, the Latin Kings. When you go to Puerto Rican Day Parade in New York, the Latin Kings is running all through that too. You may see a lot of blood sprinkled around there. But for the most part, that's pretty much their parade. Juve in Brooklyn, or the Labor Day Parade. That's the Crips parade. You see what I'm saying? The Crips got their parade. It's not technically called that, but they got their parade. The Bloods is around everywhere. So if it's any kind of like parade, like when the Yankees got their parade, when they be winning shit, that whole parade just be mad Bloods in it. You see what I'm saying? So Macy's, the 4th of July parade, that it be mad Bloods over there. So it's like it's a lot of parades to where if you go to these parades, you know for a fact you're gonna run into these specific members. It's like that with the parade, with the Dominican parade that's in New Jersey. So the Dominican parade, if you ever go into that one in Jersey and you just see a bunch of green rags running around there, that's what it is. It's funny too because I'm used to I only been to the Dominican parade, I think one time, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I've been here twice. I think it was one time and I was a little bit younger. But when I say younger, I don't even think I was Crip yet. We talking about maybe like 10, 11 years old. But it was a bunch of like white flags running around there. Nietas used to always be around there all the time. But now you go to the Dominican parade It's nothing but green rags flowing around there, man. The Trinitarios, they base their shit a lot off of the Dominican flag. So the Dominican flag has other colors inside of it. But you got a lot of people rocking those colors already. Crips wear blue, Bloods wear red, Nietas wear white. The lime green color, it's in there, slight, but it's in there. So they took on the lime green color, even though you'll see them with beads that got all of those colors inside of it. So if you see somebody walking around with beads and them shit's got like white, red, blue, lime green, and what the hell is the other color? Is it orange? I'm gonna have to do some research, but I think it's one more color I'm forgetting. But yeah, when you look through them beads and you see them color beads, that's pretty much what that's representing. Even the name from the Trinitarios come from the forefathers, the founding fathers of the Dominican Republic. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to get too deep into that as far as what that means. But if you look up the founding fathers of the Dominican Republic and you look at their name, you know, the name Trinitarios is pretty much the founding fathers' names combined together to form that name. So once again, we're going to let the person who we're going to interview, we're going to see if he can elaborate and break that down a little bit more in that instance. But a lot of that stuff is based off of that. So like the 3NI, you see what I'm saying? That's also something we're gonna have the interviewer try to break down, which is, you know, it's something that's out there, but I don't want to speak on it too much because it's like I want to see if that's something he want to elaborate on, because I know people are going to be talking about that too. I tell people all the time, man, I don't know how the star shit got to New York, but it did. So when I was younger, you had the Bloods, the Latin Kings, 5-point star. The GDs, 6-point star. I think the Nietas might have even been on the 6-point star too, but I could be mistaken. They could be on a 5-point star too. Then when it came down to 7 stars, you was talking about guard bodies. You see what I'm saying? Those are the only people I see even rep the 7-star, but the Trinitarios also rep the 7-point star. And they don't do that. There's no affiliation with the guard bodies. Once again, a lot of their stuff that they have to deal with, they deal with off of the flag. Like in the flag, you got the 2 guns that's pointed inside the middle of the flag. They use that as one of their signs also. You see what I'm saying? From the flag. Their name is from the forefathers of the Dominican Republic. They get compared to the MS-13 a lot because the MS-13 are known for using machetes. These guys are kind of known for using machetes also. And it's crazy because it's like, I wouldn't see machetes being my weapon of choice, but at the same time, machetes can do damage. They chop down trees. What you think they'll do to your little flesh and your bones? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, back in the day in New York, we used to always have that phase where if you was a teenager in the 90s, you would always walk around with a razor. Whether it was a razor you could spit out your mouth, whether it was a big box cutter, you know, which they used to call the ox. You see what I'm saying? Shit like that. But niggas even walked around with the switchblade sometimes, but never machetes. The MS-13s was the only other people I used to see that walked around with machetes. So, you know how scary it must be for you to have your little click, 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 click. And he like, oh yeah? Machete. What? Listen, Cubans, are definitely known for chopping people up. Mexicans are definitely known for machetes being weapon of choice. I got family from Santiago, the Dominican Republic. I didn't realize Dominicans was getting down like that with the machetes. You gotta say it like that, like the dude in the movie. Machete. I'm not fighting, listen, I'm not fighting no dude with no machete. See what I'm saying? Nah. You want to throw these hands, we good. You come and meet it with the machete, oh, I'm sorry. Zaka, Zaka, Zaka. Imminent danger. I'm not fighting no machete. You try to block that shit, bitch. Shh. Nah, son. Crazy, they gotta get you. They gotta get you. You niggas out there with the, oh yeah, you wanna play? Oh yeah? Come on, son. 3 people running at you with the machete. It's gonna be hard to get away from that. I see how they numbers got strong. One thing I like about them, they got the 3 strikes you out rule. The 3 strike rule. What do you mean by the 3 strike rule, Harlem Smalley? The first time you do something to where you get in trouble, like with us, right? When you was younger, you used to do some dumb shit. You talking back to the OGs. Niggas jumped your boy and you ran. Like if it was you and your loc walking down the street and y'all was in Harlem, 10 blood niggas jumped on y'all and that nigga fought and you ran, yeah. You was definitely getting squared off for that one. They had the same kind of shit like that, but I ain't adding that out. It's a 3 strike rule. The first time you get in trouble, you get disciplined for 3 minutes. The second time you do an offense, you get disciplined for 6 minutes. The third time you do that offense, they X you out the set. And I don't know if that's one question I'm gonna ask, because I don't know the answer to this. Is it 3 different things? Like if you do 3 different if you do 3 sucker shits, that's when you out? Or is it like, has to be the same 3 things? Like if you went and snitched on, and that's gonna be one of my next questions when I do the interview. Does snitching apply to those rules? So if he snitch one time, he come back and get flat, he's still in the set, he get for 3 minutes. Then if he snitch again, like, is that happen? Does that count with snitching? These are questions. The reason why I'm doing the interview, I don't know. But all I know is 3 strikes, you out. You do 3 things. The third time, your ass is X'd off the set. I asked one of them online, do they feel like the Trinitarios or the Trini, do they feel like they're the strongest Spanish gang in the tri-state area? He said, oh, without a doubt. I said, so they compare y'all a lot to the MS-13s. There's a lot of MS-13s in Queens. There's a lot of MS-13s in Long Island. I don't know about as far as MS-13s being anywhere else. But they also, MS-13s was terrorizing the whole Long Island a couple of years ago. They was like, they was beating up everybody. It's beating up people. It's not their fault though fully. Because y'all white dudes one time was running around in Long Island beating up anybody that was Spanish. So MS-13 started doing reverse situation. Oh, y'all were trying to beat up on Spanish people? Now we catch any white person at the train station. We doing y'all dirty. Yeah, that shit was going on in Long Island, New York. So I'm like, you really think y'all stronger than the MS-13s? Because if you add up their Queens and their Long Island numbers, there's a lot of them too. He like, nah, I know about them. He be like, I be in Central Islip, I know about them. I'm like, okay. He like, nah, we definitely, if a MS-13 run into us, like, we don't automatically got beef with them, but they know how it goes with us too, so they don't even like, because they know you rock with one of us, we gonna have to bring the whole squad back out here I said, oh, okay. I said, what if it was a reverse situation and you seen the MS-13 walking around your turf? He goes, they wouldn't do that. I said, is it automatic beef? He said, depending on how they moving. I said, all right, I understand that. You know what I'm saying? But this is a lot of typing, so I moved on from the situation. I said, well, listen, how do you then feel about the Latin Kings? Are y'all stronger than the Latin Kings? He goes, that's literally who we beef with a lot in New York City. He said in Jersey, they kind of got different, but in New York City, that's what the whole goal was, to pretty much overtake them. I said, so that's like y'all main enemies. He go, yeah. He said, we way stronger than them, though. But it's just that's why I need to find somebody who's running around that's still king to let me know, both sides of the fence, because Latin King's just been so deep and so strong, for so long in New York City. It's like, that's kind of just crazy to hear, but from everything that I've been researching, is leading up to me to believe that the Trinitarios might be the strongest Spanish gang in New York City now, and they've been out for a while. So once again, I apologize for not knowing about them, not doing a video on them sooner. Once again, if I don't got that much information, but I just hear about it, I can't just jump out there. I got to do research and all that. I got to talk to people, shit like that. You see what I'm saying? That's why we're doing this interview, because these niggas be on there doing these gangland interviews and they face be covered up and all that. So I got to go over this shit with him, because I don't want him to get in no trouble for no shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm a grown man. I'm not part of their set. It is what it is with me. You see what I'm saying? This is what I do. I give out the information, but the information that's already on the internet already. Like, if I knew some behind the scenes shit about they shit, I'm not talking about that shit. I'm not going to be the first one to reveal that, but everything I'm talking about is already on the internet, They just don't break it down like I do. So I'm going to go over some shit with him to see what he can talk about, what he can't talk about. And then, we'll go from there, man. But, I mean, he said, yeah, they definitely were stronger than the Latin Kings, in his words, not mine. So then I asked him, I said, what do you think about y'all being the strongest gang, period, in New York? Now, here's the crazy part about it, too, because the Crips numbers in New York has risen. The GD numbers in New York has also risen. When you got the Trinitarios numbers also rising, the Bloods numbers kind of decreased. And that's not saying like it was a bunch of Bloods that switched over to different shit. That's not what I'm saying. When you're such a strong entity in jail, that means a lot of your peoples is locked up. Was locked up, still is locked up, gonna be locked up. When you got the jails on lock, that means your numbers on the streets is gonna kind of deplete a little bit. So when I asked him that, he told me, like, yeah, we might actually be the strongest gang in New York City. I had to think about that, because by numbers, no way. If you do Trinitario numbers versus all Blood numbers versus all Crip numbers, nah. But it's not like they got, with the Bloods, it's not like they got G-Shine. They got Non-Trey. Then you got the Mac Ballers, 183rds, the Brims, Pyrus. It's not like you got all that shit. So that's a lot of separation. With the Crips, you got the G-Stones, you got the 30s, you got the 60s, you got the 8-Trays. There's like so many damn sets that's in New York. Everybody doesn't just answer to particular people. With the Trinitarios, they don't have a bunch of different sets. They have positions in there. You have like a number 1, a number 2, and a number 3. So you may have in the Bronx, just say in New York City, you may have in this area maybe a number 1, number 2, number 3, and then like whoever else follows, like the soldiers and all that. And then over here in this area might be a number 1, number 2, number 3. But everybody's answering to the number 1, and all of the number 1s are on the same accord. And it's not like it's a bunch of number 1s running around. Something happened to number 1, the number 2 moves up to number 1. Number 3 moves up to number 2. Then there's a new number 3. Whoever they feel need is been putting in that work or whatever like that. They got mad shit. They got a treasurer. They shit like, needless to say, they shit is more organized. And it's not a bunch of people that's answering to. This person's an OG. This person's a big whale. This person's a... It's a lot from each different set. You got people from, can the G-Stone OG just run down on somebody who banging 8 tray and just tell them what to do? Yo, listen, they got blood right there. You from 8 tray, go put in that work. An OG from G-Stone can't do that. You see what I'm saying? So an OG from 8 tray can't run down on no G-Stone talking about, yo. See what I'm saying? Listen, but when it comes to the Trini, if it's a number 1, he telling the number 3 or one of the soldiers to do something, they got to do what they got to do. Regardless whether he from Jersey, he still got the ranking. He got the ranking. So in my opinion, I wouldn't call them the deepest, but I will call them probably the most organized in New York. I asked him, can any race join? He was like, no. So I said, blacks, whites can't join? He like, nah. I said, what if I was Salvadorian? Or he was like, depending on how long you've been around us. But he was like, can't any Salvadorian can't just come join or whatever like that too. I said, what if any Dominican or any Puerto Rican, can they just come and just join automatically? Do they just automatically just get, can you take them down there and just get them jumped in, see what they got? He told me not every person gets jumped in. So he said sometimes if they don't know you, then they'll jump you in. But if they know you and they know you rock and they know you get down, you fight and all that, there's no need to jump you in. There's no need to prove yourself. So that's the thing about it. If you've been hanging around, if it's been like a Salvadorian dude and he got a Dominican friend, but the Dominican friend is Trinitario, but he not, but he been running around, and they know he fight, stuff like that. But it can't no Salvadorians walk up there to the set to my, yo, let me be a Trinitario. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. This is pretty much what I took from it, what he broke down for me, something we gonna go through over the interview, kind of shit too. So he said it's kind of weird on the fact that everybody does not get jumped in though. Same thing with a lot of people was getting blessed in back in the day, which I was never one of those people, and I don't know, maybe because I was hating, but I was never one of those lokes back in the day who respect other lokes, but it was like, I'm blessed in. And that's when I was younger. It wasn't until I came to California to where I realized that shit actually exists. Everybody in California didn't get jumped in. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people did get jumped in. Everybody didn't have to get jumped in though. To where when you was in New York in the 90s, 95% of the people who actually real lokes got jumped in. You had a very selective few who was off. Because you know what it was? It was easy for niggas who was fake to say I was blessed in and then just lowering the codes and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? So it was always a little skeptical, like, why are you blessed in? You know what I'm saying? If it was some shit like, oh, my father was Crip, but remember, this is 96, 97. Your father was Crip. When the fuck was he running around? Like, your father was Crip? Is this nigga from California, some shit like that? But anyway, they got some shit to where, as long as they know you rock, you don't gotta fight to get in. I asked him, what's Trinitarios, who are Trinitarios' enemies? The nigga said, whoever mess with us. I said, wait, so y'all don't rock with anybody. Y'all don't have no allies. He goes, DDP to an extent. And this is something I'm not going to get into. I'm going to let the interviewer, because I didn't get too far into this and I don't know really the super truth behind it, but it makes sense. Dominicans don't play. But for some reason, I don't know why, when I read something, I thought they had problems with each other. But that's why I'm not going to get far into it. But this is, once again, not my words, but it would make sense. Dominicans don't play. You know what I'm saying? The Trinitarios are fully Dominican. It would make sense why they would ally together. But enemies, he like, nah. The only people who, if we see them walking down the street and we'll just get them because he was like Latin Kings. He said Latin Kings in New York. And Jersey, they got like, Jersey, damn, what the hell is them niggas Jersey? I can't remember it, but Jersey, they get along with like their little smaller Spanish gangs out there in Jersey and all that. But if they see a Latin King walking down the block, oh, yellow rag, oh, we gonna go get him. We gonna go get him. See that yellow rag, we gonna go get him. A blood or a Crip walking down the street, they not just like, all right, you know, this nigga got a blue rag or this nigga got a red rag, let's go get him. But 9 times out of 10, if you walk by them and they sitting there and they staring at you, and you do that stare grill back, you know what I'm saying? Say something, then it's gonna probably go down. But if you just go ahead and mind your business, you know what I'm saying? No, you know, shit like that. I know hotheads like that. Niggas stare them down, you gotta stare back and say something. These niggas are standing on the corner doing nothing with their life for a reason. I used to be one of them niggas. Fuck is you looking at? You know what I'm saying? They not fighting no more. Or what the fuck is you looking at? Could literally have a nigga pulling out soft shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So they pretty much EBK for the most part. Everybody killers. You see what I'm saying? Once again, they don't got specific quarrels. Like they beef more with the Bloods than they do with the Crips. But at the same time, it's not like they Crip allies and no stupid shit like that. You see what I'm saying? So that's the difference right there. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like, you know, let's just say if it's me and I'm in a blood area and it's 10 blood niggas chasing me and I run around the corner and I see some Trinitarios, I can't just run up to them and be like, yo, the blood niggas chasing me, help me. Even though I wouldn't do no shit like that, but you can't do no, you know, that wouldn't work. Them niggas be like, you don't get the fuck out of here, you better go fight them niggas somewhere else kind of shit. Once again, when we do this interview, we gonna find out if that's true or if that's false. But from what I'm looking, hearing, seeing, what he's saying, there is literally no allies, but the enemies is whoever wanted, whoever like, all right, he said they're more like we don't run around just fucking with people kind of shit, but we just getting our money. But if you try to fuck around with us, we gonna bring the full force kind of shit at you. And for various reasons, of course, he was able to talk to me about a lot of this stuff that was on here. But when he told me he would do the interview with me, this is somebody different from who I'm actually doing the interview with. He told me he would do the interview with me, but at the time, he didn't want to show his face. So I'm like, I don't want to sit here and do an interview with you if you want to show your face. So I'm like, let me just get some information from you and I'll big you up. But he was like, nah, I don't want to put my name out there neither. I'm like, not even like an AKA? He's like, nah. I'm like, all right, cool. And he said it's not for gang purposes because we're not talking about nothing that's not on the internet already. He said because of his job. Because of what he do as far as his job, if they see his face on there, they know he knows a lot of people, you know, job-wise, and it can actually help. He can actually lose his job. I know. I done lost a job messing around with this YouTube stuff. I ain't gonna get too far in it because I ain't tell that Harlem Smiley story yet. But so I understand. See what I'm saying? But it's like, you know, now doing my research, I should have told him I didn't mind if he used a whole different name or if he didn't show his face, because at that time I'm like, all right, with him using a name that's not really his name, and with him not showing his face, what if the information is not right too? Now I got a fake name, I got no face to put it to, and I got wrong information. But doing stuff like this is a little bit dangerous. That's why I don't talk about the stuff that's current or not happening, that hasn't been told on YouTube, or that's pretty much can get somebody indicted. So that's why I tread lightly with doing these, you know, these blogs talking about a lot of stuff too, because I'm not trying to get myself or anybody else in trouble for no reason. You see what I'm saying? So if it's some heat that I got to take for myself, then it is what it is. But I don't want to get nobody else to take no heat for shit that they said on my platform. So this is why I always do my research. This is why I always tread lightly when I'm doing these low gang blogs, because, you know, 99% of the blog would be correct, and it'd be a 1% thing that you said that wasn't right. Like, oh, they don't only wear green rags, they wear all of the color rags. Yeah, your information's wrong. Shit like that, man. You know how that go. I'm just a Brooklyn Crip from my Harlem set. Show some respect. If not, cuz, put in a check. I'm up next. It's your boy Harlem Smiley. You have been tuned in to the one and only Dirt Gang TV. And if you rock with your boy, please do subscribe to the channel, man. And I want y'all to do a couple of things for me if y'all still tuned in here, man. I need y'all to go subscribe to Cripsag's YouTube channel. It's literally Cripsag, S-A-G. Then go subscribe to Dusty Vision TV. And then subscribe to T History. And then after that, go subscribe to Stats 280. Then you can go subscribe to Bullets Gotti. And go subscribe to Death of the Clout Chaser. Oh, and don't forget Marriage and Marijuana. Mr. and Kicks. Go subscribe to that. You know what I'm saying? You know, but that, after you do all that, then come back over here, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. You know what it is. It's a thumb. Turn it from white to blue. And if not one, put up two, man. It's always Dirt Gang, man. We always rolling, man. And shout out to everybody on 9th Street, man. Harlem Smiley, the one and only.